Steam, hey up bud. Just give me a sec, I'm just setting up my game title. Oops. Rogan, evening bud. Let me make sure the game title's live before I start moving. Nope. Why does Twitch take ages to settle on a game title? I'm very well, thank you, Steam. It's not saying the game title on my screen. Hang on, give me a second. There we go, I think it's good to go. It just takes a while to pick it up. Right, so I've got, at the moment, just to give you an update, because I've bought an extra truck. So you start off with the rigid box, and I selected the man, because of the known bug with the Scania. Then you pick up the cattle trailer, which you couldn't pick up if you got the Scania. There was a known bug that they're working on, or they've already fixed, or they're going to. And now I've bought a Scania rigid box. So now I've got 3 trucks and 3 trailers, well, 1 semi-trailer, and then the 2 rigid vehicles. So employees wise, I've got 3 employees. I've got Ian and I've got Natalie, and I've got both of those. If I just go on to logistics, I've got both of those at the moment on jobs. So Ian's doing me a big ass pig drop-off job, which is going to net me 148 grand, or just under 150 grand, and Natalie is doing me a smaller job that's going to net me just over 7 grand. So she's got a short haul to do, and then I've just picked up 2 jobs that have both got the same drop-off point. So they're both pickups in Berlin, where I am now, and I'm going to drop them both off at the same town or city. And when you get your jobs, when you pick more than one job, initially what it does is it puts your pickup here, your delivery here, then another pickup here, then another delivery here, and you can use these arrows to shuffle them so that you could do all your pickups first and then your deliveries after. It'll set the route planner accordingly. So yeah, this is a multi-drop. This will be a multi-drop to the same city, but it is a multi-drop. So I've got the pickups that are both from this city going over to that other city, which is far out in the west. Now, earlier on when I was in my cattle trailer, let me just scratch this off. I was in the cattle trailer and I'd got Ian out in the rigid box. This was before I'd bought the 3rd truck. Andy, evening bud, and I was having an absolute nightmare trying to figure out how I get Ian out of my... It wasn't Ian actually, it was the other guy, Horst, and through process of trying to work out how I could switch trucks, I fired him, thinking that that was the only way I was going to be able to get in the truck, because I wanted to get in the rigid truck and I wanted to stick him in the cattle trailer, and I wanted to do some short hauls for a change. Chris, good evening bud. And I couldn't get my head around it, and eventually what I realised is that all I had to do was remove him to the vehicle, because when they're in the vehicle, when your staff are in the vehicles, other than, hang on, let me get the map up, let me zoom out so you can see, other than seeing their names on the map, you don't physically see them in the game. So if I was, for example, to drive past Natalie or drive to where she is, I would not see her in the game. The minute I kick her out of the truck and tell her to get out the truck, so she's not assigned to a truck, the truck would immediately appear on the map on her last known location, and then I have to drive to that truck. Then I get out of my truck and get in her truck, and then I can assign somebody to go in the other truck, and that's how you do the driver swaps. And because there's no such thing as teleportation or fast travel in this game, you physically have to go and drive to wherever that last known location of the truck is. So that's driver swaps. Anyway, let's crack on. Right, I've already put my card in and whatnot. I'm still not utilising the taco system, as you call it, with the sleep timer thing. Yeah, I'll eventually get my head around that and I'll start to use it, but I'm not at the moment whilst I'm doing the stream and figuring things out and getting used to new things. Once I get in my groove and my flow, I'll start to use it more. I'm gonna go for it. You'll have to tell me, guys in chat, how the audio is, because I've noticed the Scania truck that I'm now driving, because I'm in the new truck that I bought, I've noticed that is the engine's a lot beefier. To be fair, Andy, you were the same with Fallout 76, remember? I remember coming in one of your games once on Fallout 76 and you were obsessed with building stuff on that. Now, I think this might be, or is it? I had a feeling then that this was one of the other bugs that the game has, where the traffic gets congested and there's a little bit of an accident at a junction and all lanes of the junction remain stationary because the AI doesn't know what to do. The AI on this game is currently my biggest bugbear in this game. I know there's loads and loads of little intricate issues we have with the game and improvements that we can think of, but the biggest bugbear I have with this game at the moment is traffic and AI. Because I was at a junction earlier on waiting to pull out with a cattle full of pigs, and the AI just doesn't give you a gap to pull out. And if you pull out, the AI isn't clever enough to stop. It just keeps coming and it just literally rams you, and if you've got a load then it damages your load. And unfortunately, I do think that the AI is going to be one of the toughest things to fix. Not saying it won't get fixed, but it'll be one of the longest things that's going to take them the time to get their head around how they're going to program it better. But same as you, Rogan, earlier on, I was super impressed because earlier on I got a load that I got from, I think I got it from Munich, and I delivered it all the way up to Hamburg. And you know, because you play it, you know how long that journey takes. It was a good hour and 40 minutes, if not more, and I got there with no damage to the cargo. And got the trophy for Perfectionist. What's the time in game? 7:30 at night. So it'll be getting dark soon in game. Oh, what the hell? It's a bit bad by my standards. It almost, hang on, let me just check something, because it almost felt then like the steering settings had reset. No, they haven't, that's fine, they haven't reset. And whilst I've got this on here, let me get rid of that. Until that gets more info on it, then I'm going to try and make do without it. But if it suddenly they say we've updated the nav system, so it's got distance left on the journey, the clock for the time, then I'm not too fussed about having that on screen. Everything I need is right there. He says, Wolfman, evening bud. Cracking stream earlier, Wolfman. I was working for most of it. I was watching TV and whatnot. And once my TV had all finished, I came back in the end and I threw out that joke, and then you were close to finishing anyway. But I saw that clip you posted of that truck that got stuck. I can go. Green, yeah, I can go. Not that it matters, because we know that we don't get penalised for red lights and speeding. Like that one there I've just gone through because I was too busy trying to do my lights, and I've missed my turning because of it. So I'm going to do a quick naughty U-turn here. I tried playing Farm Sim with my kids once, multiplayer. Just that we could have a bit of fun, and it would be a little bit educational at the same time, but they weren't buying it at all. They much prefer, they're at the ages that they much prefer doing the floss and showing off the latest greatest outfit that they've bought, courtesy of bank of mum or dad. The braking distance on the Scania is a lot longer than the MAN truck. I don't think I'm on red, you know, that I can go. I think it's just them in that lane that I can go, but I'm going for it because, like I say, there's no penalty. To be fair, Wolfman, the hood that you put up, that the on-screen hood, the only benefit of that hood is that the text is bigger in it for things like the speeding limits and the display for the fuel, but everything I need is on the dash anyway. I do eventually want to start utilising that rest system though. Oh, going past here, aren't I? Oh no, I'm not. What the... That looked like a pickup to me. Or are they right next to one another? Maybe they're right next to one another. Or, oh no, I've got to go round. It's making me go round, like a one-way system. Here we go. No, I do want to utilise the resting system on it because I want to be able, when it's night time, I want to be able to use the resting system to skip so that it's daytime, because I seem to be doing a hell of a lot of driving at night at the moment. I'm going to do the doors first, actually, because you can never get at the doors when you reverse it all the way back. What I'm doing here, picking up headlights, and they're going to Mobile Conti. They're not going to Mobile Conti. What am I on about? They're not going to Berlin. They're going to the other side of the country. Don't know why I didn't do this door first, seeing as I was around there, but hey ho. I told you that I fed some feedback back to them on, I think it was it Friday or Saturday I fed it back, and he was pretty swift at replying, and he'd numbered everything. He'd put numbers to everything that I'd brought up, and he kind of was like, number 1, that point you brought up there, that's already fixed internally. Number 2, we're working on it. Number 3, fixed internally. Number 4, we're aware of it, we're working on it, and so on. So they have taken a lot of it, but I do need to do another. I think I need another email to go across to them, because there's other things that we're discovering. Right, so now I've got my second pickup, and then I can venture on to over near Dortmund. These trucks weren't there when I bloody pulled in, and they decided to walk up here for rest or whatever. Swines. I saw that. I saw Matt in your stream last night. Amazing, that. very rare that you see that, isn't it? I've only ever seen it twice. I have, and one of them was yours. The other time I've seen it happen is with Assetto Corsa. I've seen the dev for Assetto Corsa go in a chap stream who I follow. Oh, just gonna net me coffee then. Now he's just clamped into the side of me because we should have been merging in, but he decided to come inside of me. Thankfully, no damage was done. Let me pause it so I can net me coffee and then read Andy's comment. Yeah, they run a risk when they come in. I think when devs come in, they run the risk of being inundated with requests, questions, insults if people don't like the state of a game it's in. Now the loads damage. You see what I mean about the braking on this compared to the man? Right, so that's the last of that. No more silly accidents. Sean, thank you very much, by the way, for the follow. I've just noticed that in my emails. It's much appreciated and welcome. I think you were in Rogan's stream this afternoon when he was playing this? See, the HUD's come back up now as well. Sometimes when you're going in and out of menus, the HUD comes back up. That's another thing I'd want. I'd want that point in the options menu rather than this menu in the game here. So that you can literally turn it off and it's never on. Unless they make it better, of course. If they make it better with more info on, then I'll quite happily leave it on, but I do think a tad smaller as well. Oh, that's why it come back on, because I had that little bang at that junction. I'm okay for fuel. I've got a bad feeling about something here. That's some. Oh God, the braking. So as far as I'm concerned, I've only picked up one thing, and I don't recall choosing to pick them up at the same place. So now you seen what my load is. They're both down for delivery now. They're both the pickups I've gone to. They must have been in the same place. We'll carry on and see what happens. And I'm in the wrong lane here, so we're just going to go through. Well, let's go for it. So how many crashes did you have today? Game crashes, I mean. On yours, Rogan, you had quite a lot, didn't you, today? It's in cruise control, but it seems to go really slow in cruise control. I wonder if it's, I was going to say, I wonder if it's the standard consoles that it's crashing on more, but you run it on the Series X, aren't you, Rogan? Well, funnily enough, I've had about I was saying in, I think, Sharky's Discord, and I've said in a few other places as well, that I've streamed, not streamed this, but I've played this now for about 13 hours, if not more, and I've only had one crash back to dashboard on it, and that was during a stream I was doing yesterday morning, and that happened not long after doing an autosave, and I was literally bitching and moaning beforehand, saying the autosaves could do with being a little less frequent. but it kind of saved my skin yesterday when it crashed back to dashboard on the PS5. Because I thankfully didn't lose that much progress. Yeah, it is early days, and I have said, and I'll maintain what I say, as long as they're listening to the feedback, which I think they are, and as long as they don't throw the towel in at any given stage, then they're on to a winner here, I think. Hang on, let me just shut this door because the cats can't shut doors behind them. And I bet it comes back downstairs as well in a minute. I don't know how accurate it is as well, but if you, on the title screen, you've got an option for look at the credits. And if you look at the credits, there's literally a list of the people involved. I'm assuming people are involved in the game. And it's only about 12 long, unless it's the publishers and the two different departments that they've not listed the people that actually worked on the game. But there's literally about 12 names on it. But there is going to be things, you know, we have to bear in mind there is going to be factors that are going to be out of their control. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about the money, and if they haven't got enough money, they can't keep it going. They have to make a financial decision on whether it's worth investing time and effort into. Yeah, I noticed that the installation size is really small. And you think about it as well, I remember the very first time I played MudRunner on consoles, and the installation size on that was only around about 3 or 4 gig, and it absolutely blew me away. Because I know there's no built-up cities as such in MudRunner, but the details on the vehicles, and the physics, and details on things like the mud, and the ground deformation and the water, it's incredible on that game. Well, I've got a bit of a bit of a mini project that I want to do, and I've never done it before. I've never ever done it before, and I don't know if I can. I'm going to put something down on paper, and I'm going to see if I can produce some form of kind of like, not a review, because I can't review it yet, but some kind of like first impressions video with commentary and put it up on YouTube. So it's a little mini project that I've got in my head, but I've never done anything like it before, and I don't know whether I can pull it off. Time is going to be the thing that will prevent me from doing that, because after tonight I've got homeschooling again for another week. Do you know what? I'm getting so wrapped up in chatting away then that I wasn't even paying attention to where I was going. So she's finished her route, so that money, which was, what was it, about £4,000, that should be in my bank about now. No worries, Wolfman. Catch you later, and thanks for popping in. Thanks, bud. Forza, good evening and welcome. Let's get that light up a bit more. This is on the PS5, this is Forza. It's obviously the PS4 version running via backwards compatibility on the PS5, because as of yet there is no dedicated enhanced versions for PS5 or Xbox Series X or S. This is where I'd like the AI to be a bit smarter as well, because I think there's a bit of congestion building up behind me, and I'd like them to make a move, because they make me nervous being behind me, because they're so dumb sometimes. They'll just run into the back of you and cause damage to your cargo. I wish they'd make a move and go past you, like move over into the faster lane. They're not on Xbox, you know. They are not working on any of the Xbox consoles, even the Series X. So I don't know what their decision for that was based on, but it looks like they've turned that off across the whole ecosystem of Xbox, and I don't know why. I knew the cat had come back down. Wait there. She's a swine, goes upstairs, sees that everybody's going to bed, and then decides, oh, I'll go downstairs and get my spot on the sofa. Yeah, the PS4 Pro has working wind mirrors as well, but I think it comes at a bit of a cost, because it does suffer with the odd bit of stutter when you're going through built up areas. And the reasoning behind them having some of the mirrors not working on some of the base consoles is because it impacts on the frame rate. But I believe they're fixing the mirrors. I don't know if it's day one, but they are going to fix the mirrors, and they're going to give you the option to turn them on or off in game. So if you turn them on and it affects the performance of the game, you the player are going to have the option to turn them off if it affects the frame rate of the driving or any other detrimental effects. Did the screen just suddenly brighten up then? Did the lighting change? Or was it just on my TV? See, I think when I'm playing this for a prolonged amount of times, in that case, I think that my PS5 doesn't think I'm doing anything and dims the screen into like a screensaver mode, because it's just suddenly gone really bright. Just out of the blue, it went really, really bright. Go past him. The thing is as well with the mirrors is the mirrors are so good when they are working. Like, look at the image in the mirror, and you think if you've played Bus Sim, you look at the image in the rear view mirror on Bus Sim compared to the rear view image on this. You do have to excuse me if I don't chat as much, by the way, when I'm actually driving, because as we know, especially looking at chat on this type of game, how dangerous that can be. Ooh. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. There's also some trophies for the amount of distance that you've covered. But I don't think there's anywhere in the game where there's any stats at all that tell you how much distance you've covered. There's nothing to tell you what roads you've drove on, there's nothing to tell you how much total distance you've covered. And yet there's trophies for it. My screen keeps going dull, as if it's kicking in a screensaver. And yet it doesn't do it on any other game. I'd noticed then that it had gone dull, so that's why I pressed into this screen, and then it suddenly immediately brightened up on my TV. So that might be something else that I might need to feed back, because I don't even get that on Train Sim. I mean, Train Sim, you can go 10 minutes, 5 minutes without touching your control pad, because you're literally on a track doing the same speed going from point A to point B, and yet my screen never goes dull. But there's some weird thing going on here where there's some kind of screensaver kicking in on my PS5 because it doesn't think I'm doing anything. Even though I'm doing these minor little nudges on the steering wheel to correct it or to turn around bends. What, you can buy a used truck with mileage already on the clock? Let's just have a look. Because at the bottom there, did you say new? So I wonder if more become available. Yeah, none of them show mileage now. Very odd. I'll tell you what, when I did that load earlier on, when I got that Perfectionist trophy, I'd gone all that time without having a single bump or scrape, and my heart was in my mouth right at the very end because I almost missed my turning, and I turned so sharp to drive into the abattoir I thought I was going to hit the fence or go in the ditch. And you know how strict it is when your truck goes in the ditch off the road. It causes damage to cargo. I thought I'd blown it right at the end. And I didn't know there was a trophy, so it wasn't because I was going for the trophy. Because I didn't know there was one. I was literally going for the fact of doing the perfect drive and getting full monetary reward for it. Gaming Tech, thanks for the raid and welcome to your viewers. Thank you very much appreciated. It's going okay. It's going alright. Thank you very much again, buddy. Back in lane. Try to stay in lane. I've got 2 drop-offs. Forza. Let me just go on a straight and I'll show you. I've got 2 drop-offs, both going to Duisburg over here. See how long I've been on the road for, and look how far I've still got to go. but I've got headlights, but they're both going to different places. One's going to a truck service depot, one's going to a mobile communications depot. Doing a multi-drop, because when you do a multi-drop, if you pick up 2 items of cargo from the same city, you can tailor make the jobs, or tailor pick the jobs, so that if you go into one city to do a drop off, you may as well do another 2 or 3 drop offs to the same city. Or even if you plan your route, you could even do one that's on the way. So, give you an example. When I set off and I was started off in Berlin, there was nothing stopping me picking up 3 jobs in Berlin, where 2 of them needed to be dropped off in Dortmund, and 1 of them had to be dropped off in Hanover on the way. And what you do when you've got the jobs, you've got these arrows here so that you can shuffle them up in terms of priority. So you could put all your pickups of your cargo in the top, so you could fill your truck first before you then set on your way to do your deliveries. Is that what you did today, Rogan? Yeah. Oh, here comes the rain. Now this is where you see I want shortcut buttons, so that I can just smack on those wipers without needing to go through the that menu that you have to go through to get the wipers on. I'd rather just have an option to say go left on the D-pad for wipers, right on the D-pad for headlights. Forza, thanks for the follow. Thank you very much appreciated, thank you. Right, for those that don't know, this game is officially released on the 11th of February, on Thursday, on PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One family. It's up for pre-order on the Xbox currently, on the Xbox Store for $24.99 in the UK. It's not on the PlayStation Store yet, and won't be on the PlayStation Store until the actual day of release. Physical copies are supposed to be out the same day, but I've heard rumours that some retailers aren't getting their supply until around about the 24th or 25th. So if you do fancy it and you want it day one, then your only option at the moment to guarantee getting it day one is digital. And there's no confirmed price on the PlayStation yet, but I would imagine it would be the same as the Xbox at $24.99. Aerosoft very kindly give me an early access key to play the game, to test the game, to provide feedback, which I've done. I'm very much enjoying the game. I have to give credit where credit's due. The map is big, the map is dense, and it's brilliant. The map is the standout feature for me. Then we've got licensed trucks, which is a win, because at the moment we've got 2 brands of licensed trucks. The career on it seems quite deep with regards to running a company with employees, with more trucks, sending them out on jobs. But it's not without its issues. There are some niggles that need ironing out, but it is early days. They're only a small indie company, and they do seem to be committed to it. Because I don't, as I understand it, I don't think there was supposed to be a day one patch. The version that I am playing is the version for release. There wasn't intended to be a day one patch. But a few bugs that we discovered during myself and other people playtesting it, I think they've got to push out a patch on day one to fix a couple of glaring issues with the game, one of which is kind of it halts your progress in your career, so they've got no choice but to fix that. Because when you first start your career and you're presented with a choice of truck to go with, if you pick the Scania truck, and then the first task you are tasked with is pretty much go and collect a cattle trailer that you've been given because another company has gone into liquidation. Once you get in that cattle trailer, it's kind of it's broke, because you can get in the truck but you've got no graphics on screen. You've got sound but you've got no visuals on screen at all. So I think they've had no choice but to rush out a day one patch, because I think they were going to sit on the sidelines and work on a bigger patch and fix a load of things in one go, but I think they've had the hand forced with regards to that bug. Another bug which I think they're going to do day one is if I come onto employees here, oh, I can't hire anymore. There's a button down here when you get a list of employees here, when you hire them, there's a list of employees that you can hire, and there's a hire button down here. And the detection on it, like this here now, see how I'm hovering over that button and it's not highlighting. It doesn't highlight until I get all the way over there, so it's off. The detection is off. So that's another one they've got penciled in for day one. But the map, yeah, like Rogan says, the map is brilliant, and they've got the groundwork there already, and all they've got to do is build on it and improve it. Listen to the feedback, improve it, fix it, and then just build on it. Once they get it optimised, build on it, and the game has got some great potential to become something special for console players that have not got a game like this. At the end of the day, they've got to start somewhere, and Euro Truck was nothing like, when it first released 7 or 8 years ago, it was nothing like the game that it is today. Euro Truck wasn't. And the same can be said about this, this starts off like this, and with ambition, commitment, they can fix it, they can optimise it, and then they can start adding things to it. GameTech, thank you very much, by the way, for the raid. I've only just caught your message because I was gassing. Thank you for the raid, and you enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you. Put my foot down. I know I'm speeding, but I want to get to where I need to get to sometime today. just the fact that when you go into the menu and you've got all the stuff about the finances, and you've got the ability to fire, hire employees and whatnot, it fills me with confidence really that they have, you know, the desire to make it something bigger than what it is, because it wants to be a deep game with a career, with the ability to run a company, and all I can say is I hope they commit. Ooh. I'll stay in this lane. I think he wants me to stay in it. Oh, I'm going to crash into this car. Can you put me foot? No, yeah, let him go past. It's when the lanes thin out like that and he merges in, they don't give way. I thought you had played it on the Series X. I thought that's what you were playing it on. Ah, right, okay. I think Gamertech was supposed to be doing a video on the Series S today, but he didn't do it in the end. I think he may have had a bit of trouble, judging by his Twitter feed. I think he may have had a bit of trouble with idiots in his other streams. Oh, I thought it was going to crash then. I thought it was going to crash. Back to dashboard the way it froze. Here's that city I'm going to again called Osfart. Oh shit! The braking on this truck compared to the bloody man. As far as I understand it, Forza, I'm pretty sure that there's no working mirrors on any of the Xbox family of consoles. And the fact that the One X hasn't got working mirrors makes me want to believe that the Series X hasn't got them either, because the PS4 Pro has got working mirrors, but the One X hasn't. And the One X, on paper, is more powerful than the PS4 Pro. I'm going through. Too busy in the menus again. That's why we need a quick button for wipers off and on. Set the parking brake on. Get my back doors open. There's my load. Freight office. And here I am delivering headlights. So definitely no work. There you go. No working mirrors on this. That's unbelievable. That. Very strange decision. That's one drop off. So now on the map, because I've got another drop off, that should be, the green line should take me to the next drop of the multi-drop. Right, let's see if we can see an example of how bad the AI is here as well. Like this AI, oh, it's not that bad actually. There was an occasion earlier on when I was trying to pull out of the abattoir, and the AI just kept spawning down the road and just kept coming at me, and I couldn't get a window of opportunity to get out. So I just went for it, and it doesn't stop. It doesn't see that you come halfway across the road in a big articulated truck and stop. It just keeps on going and barges straight into you. It's very annoying. When we get to where we're going in a second as well, I can give Natalie another job to go and do. No, I think that's the first people I've seen in the game. The first pedestrians I've seen in the game. I'm sure it is. Oh, you swine. Green light, I can go. PS5 this is, Jimmy. This is the PS4 version running on the PS5. There is no actual optimised or dedicated versions for next gen consoles as such, as of yet. Bob, when you say the truck speeds, there's the gears are all automatic. There is no option for manual gears. The speeds, I mean, I've got full control over accelerate and decelerate, but you have got a cruise control, and the cruise control will bring it in line with any speed restrictions on the road that you're on. But if you are going down a hill, then the cruise control will not keep it to the speed limit. It will gain speed if you're going down a hill. It might say that on the store, but I mean, it's got HDR on the PS5. It triggers it. But it's definitely not enhanced for the next gen consoles as of yet. The game benefits from the extra horsepower of the new consoles in terms of the frame rates, but there's not a dedicated enhanced version. The Xbox version of the game at the moment actually doesn't have working rear view mirrors on any of the Xbox consoles. So delivery of headlights. And there we go, I've hit level 5. The devs sent me a review copy. Not a review copy, but an early access copy to play test and provide feedback. So the devs very kindly sent me a copy. Right, let's just pull up and then let's send Natalie on to do some jobs. Wow. It's funny, Rogan, because that was one of the things that I sent you. Was it you that I sent a copy of my email to? And that was one of the things I touched on in the email. Now let's put the parking brake on a sec and let's knock the engine off. I'll dish out some jobs. It might have been Steam then. I sent Steam the full transcript of the email that I sent when I was asking for it, and I was pretty sincere about the way I did it. Yeah, okay. Right, jobs. Let's give some jobs out. Natalie had finished her job, hadn't she? Let me just make sure. I think he's got a bigger job on, so he's still. Oh no, he's finished this as well. So look at the money I've got in the bank, because they've all finished their jobs. So let's give Natalie a job. Now, I've asked for plenty of keys in the past, Andy. Keymailer. I'm forever sticking requests in for games on Keymailer, and I've been given, over my lifetime of being a member of Keymailer, I've been given 2. It's nothing to do with how big you are. It's about the way you ask. Or in the case of Keymailer, look. So she's in Berlin. So let's give her. Let's give her something from here. Something that pays all right. 13 grand. Cat toys. It's okay, Sean. It's okay. If you've got any more questions, I'll try. Fire away, and I'll try my best to answer. So I'll give her that one job. And where's that being delivered to? So then I can give her another job that's going to the same destination, if there's one here. So that's another 16.5 grand nearly there. So if I give her that one, both of them jobs have gone to Natalie. So the job, that's the jobs that Natalie's got that are both there. She's got a pick-up, delivery, pick-up, delivery. Now if I move the pick-up up, she'll do both the pickups first and then both the deliveries, because the deliveries are in the same city and the pickups are in the same city. If I'd have left it the way it was, she'd have done pick-up, taken it to Nürnberg, then she'd have drove all the way back to Berlin to get the next one and drove all the way back down. This way she can fill a truck with 2 loads, do 2 deliveries. I know I do, Andy. I know. It's because I've only just done the Discord and I keep forgetting, because I also want to stick a thing in about giving your channels a shout out as well. something I need to look at tomorrow when I get to, once I've done all the homeschooling tomorrow. I'll kick them off, kick the kids off the computer, and I'll do a bit of work on it. So that's her sorted. So she'll go ahead and do them. So let me give him one, because he's got the cattle trailer. Where's he parked up? So if I go up to him, and then is there a thing up there? Yes, there is, and he's actually there now. So if I click on that, and then I've got one there for 118. Yeah, it's going to be the 118 job I'm giving him then. Easy money. Get him, grind it out for me. And there you go. I'll give him just the... Where's it going to? Stuttgart. Is there any more going to Stuttgart so we can do 2 loads? Hang on, did I just mess that up? Does it not confirm that job? Where is Stuttgart? Oh, it's all the way down there, Stuttgart. Jeez. Oh, from Rostock to Stuttgart, right. In fact, I could do it so he drops one off to Frankfurt on the way. Yeah, let's give him that one as well. And then let's do sort his pickups out so they're both from the same place, which they will be. And then he's done. He's got a job to be getting on with. So then it's just me. Thanks, Andy. Right, there's me. No, it is very new, and I'm still getting my head around it. Because I wanted to get my head around things like the mods and the bots and stuff. Right, let's do an oil drop-off. Let's get the one that's going to net me 21 grand. There we go. In fact, let's have a look at them first before I pick one. Yeah, for 20 grand, they're all going to Rostock. So let's pick that one. And then let's get on our way and do this last drop off. Here we go. We might have an example here of the bad AI, where I can't pull out because it just keeps coming and keeps spawning in. Thanks, Rogan. Thanks, mate. Oh no, I've got a window. I can go. How are you getting on with your Elgato, by the way, Andy? Have you got your head around it yet? Oh, I'm going through. I'm going through. Sod it. The odd mistake is allowed when there's no penalties for it. The brakes on this thing. What time of day is it, by the way? I think I can kill my lights. Yeah, I'm alright crashing into them when I've got no load on, Chris. There's no penalty for it. Oop, speeding. Careful. Is this where I'm picking up from? I think it is, isn't it? Or it'll be down on this estate. Oh yeah, the oil. It'll be on this estate. I mean, I want them to concentrate on game optimization first, but one thing I do hope they bring to this game is the ability to customize your trucks in terms of paint jobs and stuff. Because the trucks look extremely generic looking, don't they? Do you know, it's funny that you say that, because one of the first jobs I did when I got this on Thursday, I'm sure, was oil, and it did actually look like oil barrels, but now they don't, do they? Fruit and veg. Right, second pickup I think I've got, haven't I? I did pick 2 jobs, didn't I? When you got more drivers on board, to be honest, and you got trucks and more drivers, it gets pretty easy to grind more money out. This is the only problem with the Scania, is I can't see the lights. I find. Did they change the same time, both of them? Or does the right hand turn one change first? Steam, with the raid, thank you very much, buddy. And welcome to your viewers. It's much appreciated, thank you. Yeah, look at them, how close they are. It's going alright, thank you, Steam. It's going okay. Got 2 employees working for me now. They're doing big jobs. Well, one of them is. One of them is doing cattle runs for me, which gets you big bucks. And then I've got a lady working for me in the same kind of truck that I'm in. Oh, I was supposed to turn that. And she's got 2 jobs she's doing for me at the minute, doing multi-drops. Oh, that was close. Cruise control on, bring me in line. I've seen that the AI pop in, how the AI seems to just pop in on the other side of the road. I've seen that happens on the PC version as well. If it didn't physically look like it was dropping from the sky, I don't think it'd draw that much attention. But because it looks like somebody's literally just dropping it from the sky onto the road with the wheels running, it looks bizarre. So, remember folks, this is out officially on the 11th. I've been kindly given a key from the developers to test it. I'm not here to spend your money for you. You can look at what I'm doing, ask questions if you feel you need to, and if it's ticking all the right boxes for you, then you make a decision based on what you see. It's ticking all the right boxes for me, but that's me. I'm not you. It's your money. I think it's going to retail on the PS4 for £25, the same as the Xbox for the digital version. There's a bit of uncertainty with relation to the physical editions at the moment, because there's rumours that the retailers aren't getting their physical editions until the 25th of Feb. So if you do like what you see and you want it day one, then digital is the only way to go. Xbox, it's currently available for pre-order. PlayStation, it won't be on the store until the day of release. I'm personally enjoying it. I think there's a gap on the market for a game like this on the console. I think console players have been crying out for a game like this. These kind of games, simulator games, are getting ever more popular on consoles nowadays, and we're lucky to get these kind of games. And I've just missed my turning. No, I haven't. I can make it, but that's really, really bad. That's really bad. It's because I was gassing. And I'll look down at chat quickly. Yeah, I think Amazon, Rogan, were the first retailers that have stated about the delivery date not being until the 25th. So I don't know if that's across the board. Okay, Steam. Thanks for the raid, buddy. Enjoy. And I'll catch you tomorrow sometime, probably. Yeah, so before I started to drive like an absolute clown, it's ticking all the right boxes for me. I think there's a market for it. I think it's doing a lot of things right in terms of the gameplay and what it has to offer, but it does need some TLC around the edge. It's a little bit rough around the edges in parts, and there's a few omissions, there's a few things you want to see improved or added. But undoubtedly on this game at the moment, the star of the show on this game is the map. The map is an absolute pleasure to drive on. The dopey AI spoils that sometimes. But the map is huge and it's an absolute pleasure to drive on. When I first saw footage of this last year, when I was seeing the odd snippet of it, and I saw it running, I honestly thought that the developers of Truck Driver had thrown the towel in and said to some company, there you go, you can have all the game assets that we've currently got, the graphics engine, the HUD, everything, and the new developers had literally just gone, there you go, and slapped some proper branded licensed badges on the steering wheels to give us branded trucks rather than generic trucks, and give us a game that was nigh on, apart from being branded, nigh on identical, because the graphics engine looked exactly the same, the HUD pretty much looked the same. But even in its current state, this is a million times it's in a far better place than what Truck Driver is even at right now, even in this current state that this is in, with some of the shortcomings that it has that can easily be fixed, some of which they've already committed to. The devs have already said and acknowledged that things have been fixed and will be patched day one. It's in a similar vein to Train Sim for me in terms of being a relaxing game to play, but you do need to have your wits about you on this more than you do on Train Sim, with your little minor adjustments that you have to make on the road. My plan for tomorrow when I play this, after homeschooling is done, is to get my head around the... is it called the Techo or the Taco system, Rogan? Get my head around that system and start using the rest system, because that'll throw in a new dynamic to the way that I play the game. Right, the tachograph, and that's essentially what I said the other day. It's like a clocking in system. I mean, I'm not overly happy with the way that they've done the rest system in the game, because they haven't made it so that you have to find an official rest spot. I could literally, if I ran out of time now and I needed to rest, I could rest whilst driving on this stretch of road. The screen would go black, an accelerated timer would tick down, and the day would advance, and I would be a little bit further down the road. So the one thing they need is that when you access that menu, which you access by pushing up on the, well, anywhere on the D-pad you access that menu, what they need is that when you're picking the options for things like the EU control unit, card in or out, there's no acknowledgement on the screen that you've done it, and there's no sound effect to acknowledge that you've done it. And they need a prompt on the screen to tell you that you've done it. That is up there. I can't see that. I can't read anything on that though. This is why we probably need an option to zoom in as well, like we can on Train Sim, because I can't read anything on there unless it's a case of literally a light illuminates when I put the card in. Right, let's pull over a minute. Let's see if I can get my head around it then, while you were in chat. So, if I go to vehicle start, so the car's already in, my unit change mode is already acknowledged, yes, I think. So if I go to set mode, in fact I've got to bring that back up on I for a bit, set mode and then back out. Oh yeah, I see the text. There's some text appeared below, so now that's on, I take it. Yeah, it is, because it's ticking down. Right, okay. And when that ticks down and I need to rest, what do I do to actually instigate the rest? What do I select on? Literally click on the same thing once, and then that resets it, and then do I press it again to have it ticking down, or do you just press the once and it resets it back at 9 hours? Okay. So this is the only reason why I'd have to leave the hood on now then, in a way. So in this, insert the card again after arrest, then change the mode. Do I essentially do all three again? Insert card, change mode, set mode, once I've rested? Right, okay. Thanks, Rogan. Because I know there's no official places that you have to go and do it. But like when Sharky was doing it on his stream the other day and he was parking up at a service station, can you instigate the rest mode before the timer's ticked down? Or do you have to wait for it to hit 0 before you can start it? If I was say an hour off, I'd still got an hour left, can I still instigate a rest? Right, you can't. So I'll, when it starts sounding the alarm to say you need to rest, do you get given like a time frame on how soon you have to park up and rest? Because worst case scenario, I'd slap it in the odd shoulder here anyway and do it. After a shit or a shift. I think we established the other day, didn't we, that 8 hours 14 minutes that's ticking down in real time is about 50 to 55 minutes in our time. I knew what you meant, Chris. I knew what you meant, but it sounded funny that I've got cock in and cock out if I want to take a shit. It's like at work now, I don't go bog during my dinner. I do it when I'm working and I'm getting paid for it. Is Andy still working? Or has he passed out? Oops. I can't make that out on there, I can't, and I think it's even worse than the man truck. There's some nice big drives in this, isn't there? Just chilling and relaxing, some nice long drives. That might be why yours is crashing then, because you're on a 1X. Because I think there's been more reports of this crashing on the older consoles instead of the new. But I might be wrong. So when you say you miss driving a truck, are you not doing it at the moment because of the pandemic, or you don't do it as a job anymore? Oh, it's crashed.